Women's Cricket World Cup. Will England retain title? Nasser Hussain and Lydia Greenway assess. Who will win the Women's World Cup? Which players will star? Watch every game live on Sky Sports. Tournament begins with hosts New Zealand against West Indies from 12:30 a.m. on Friday. England begin title defense against Australia from 12:30 a.m. on Saturday. July 23, 2017. It was a day England women will never forget. Anya Shrubsole's bowling figures of 6-46, which included 5 wickets in 19 balls during a dramatic finale, inspired her side to a World Cup victory over India at a packed-out and enthralled Lord's. Recommended. 1/5. Johnny Bairstow hits 100 on Day 2 of England warm-up game against Cricket West Indies Presidents. Read more. Recommended by. Fast forward 5 years, the COVID-19 pandemic pushing the latest tournament back from 2021 to 2022, and England are now looking to defend the title in new. Heather Knight seeks ruthless streak at World Cup. Tammy Beaumont. Write England off at your peril. Women's World Cup. All you need to know. Live cricket on Sky Sports. Ahead of the competition, which starts in the early hours of Friday morning with the hosts against West Indies, we asked Sky Sports' Nasser Hussain and Lydia Greenway for their predictions. Will England retain their title? Who are the other contenders? Who are the players to look out for? Read on for our pundits' thoughts. How will England do? Nasser Hussain. I think they should make the final, along with Australia, who are by far the best side in women's cricket at the moment. But with the likes of New Zealand and South Africa around, it won't be easy. Other sides have improved, including India, who reached the 50-over World Cup final in 2017 and the 20-over World Cup final in 2020. England have not had a great time of late, losing the recent Ashes series 12-4, but they have had their break and got that out of their system. I think this tournament is exactly what they need to lift them. Runs are key for England. They didn't get enough in the Ashes. The opening pair of Lauren Winfield-Hill and Tammy Beaumont really have to fire, like they did in the last World Cup. If Heather Knight and Nat Skyver do likewise in the middle order, that will go a long way to winning this World Cup. Lydia Greenway. Because England are defending champions, they will be fancying their chances, and they should definitely be making the semi-finals without a doubt. Once you get there, anything can happen. I would love to say they will win it, but so much is out of your control in semi-finals. One concern is that they have been traveling for a while now, and Knight spoke about a bit of fatigue within the group at the back end of the women's Ashes. I hope they have had a period where they have really been able to recharge their batteries. The batters also struggled at times during the Ashes, but I do like the variety in the seam bowling attack with Anya Shrubsole and Catherine Brunt moving the ball different ways, Kate Cross with that nibble off the seam, and then the option of left armer Tash Farrant, who has brilliant variations and provides a different angle. Bowling is a real strength. Would winning the World Cup this year be a bigger achievement than 2017? Lydia. I think so, it would be massive. They have the tag of defending champions and people asking, can they do it again? The best teams in the world back up those types of performances, and England need to find a way of winning ugly. As much as you want every game to be perfect, it is not always going to be that way. It is more of a challenge being away from home as well. You can't beat playing in front of a home crowd, and it really spurs you on. However, conditions in New Zealand are similar to England, so that is a boost. Share. This is a modal window. Unsupported location. The video you are trying to watch cannot be viewed from your current country or location. Who are England's key players? Nasser. It is key that the new ball bowlers stay fit. It would be a massive blow if they lost either Shrubsole or Brunt to injury, especially with the crossbreezes you get here in New Zealand. They are two genuine swing bowlers who complement each other perfectly. Shrubsole swings the ball into the right-handers. Brunt away. Hopefully they can get early wickets. Brunt will also be key with her passion and experience. Then you have left-arm spinner Sophie Ecclestone, who is so consistent. Even if she doesn't get a shedload off wickets, she never goes round the park. She is a vital cog. As captain, Knight is very calm under pressure. Her batting has also gone from strength to strength, and I think that is the facet that will be the most important. That said, her experience will be crucial at key moments. Lydia. With the bat, Tammy Beaumont, Nat Skyver and Knight all need to have good tournaments if England are to do well. Brunt has that all-round capability, but I think she is the go-to person with the ball, whether Heather wants something early on if there is movement through the air or Lateran if a big partnership is building. Then, at the death, her variations are fantastic. She has been so impressive with how she has developed her game when players in similar positions around the world have stagnated. Any areas of real concern for England? Nasser. Half of the side from the last World Cup are not here, so it is about how some of the younger players deal with the massive occasion of defending the batting lineup didn't quite click in Australia. England didn't quite get it right. They made mostly below par totals and didn't put enough pressure on Australia a lot of the time. With Brunt, Shrubsole and Ecclestone in the bowling attack, England will think they can defend any total, but they need runs on the board. With Winfield Hill, she gets a lot of 20s, 30s and 40s, but now you want her to go on, kick on and score big runs against the best sides. Those starts need to be converted. Lydia. There were questions over who was going to open with Beaumont, but Winfield Hill will keep her place, despite having gone a long time since hitting an ODI 50. This will be a big tournament for her. I think the batting in general is the biggest area of concern, as England often struggled to get a decent total against Australia in the Ashes, making 178, 129 and they need Lauren, Amy Jones and Sophia Dunkley, who had a great summer last year, to really click. If Nat, Heather and Tammy don't come off, you want to be confident the rest are going to step up. We know they can do it, but can they do it consistently in a World Cup? That's what wins you games. Take Australia, for example. They have other players besides Meg Lanning, Rachel Haynes, Alyssa Healy and Beth Mooney stepping up. Like Talia McGrath and Annabelle Sutherland to a degree. Are Australia red-hot favorites? Lydia. I have spent time over there, and you just see the players on the fringes who would get into most other starting sides in international cricket, people like McGrath, Sutherland and Darcy Brown. Then you look at their form. They have won 29 of their last 30 ODIs and only lost 2 since the 2017 World Cup. I also think they will be like a wounded animal after losing to India in the semi-finals of the last World Cup. That scarred them, and they will be desperate for it not to happen again. That said, when I watched the first Ashes T20, you saw a few chinks in their armor. They made some basic errors in the field when England applied pressure, and bowling Wisethi didn't respond overly well when batters got after them. England shouldn't fear Australia. They can be exposed if you get at them, but their batters can really dominate you. Nasser. Yes, but they can be beaten, and in one-off knockout games anything can happen, as they found out in 2017 when India's Harmanpreet Kaur knocked the knout with a magnificent 100. Australia are going to be in those knockout games. It's pretty inconceivable to think they won't be, considering their recent form. Captain Meg Lanning is also a fantastic leader, really impressive. The other contenders? Nasser. South Africa, even without injured captain Dane van Niekerk, have a strong side on paper, and then you look at the cricket New Zealand are playing at the moment. I know it was only a warm-up game, but they hammered Australia, and they also beat India 4-1 in a recent ODI series. Their top 4, Sophie Devine, Susie Bates, Amelia Kerr and Amy Satterthwaite, is incredibly strong, and they also have home conditions and support. India will still be a threat, but I am surprised they did not pick Jemima Rodriguez, who would have added so much firepower in fielding. Lydia. I say South Africa every time there is a big global tournament. They have real fight, and now they have some players who have experienced franchise competitions all around the world. The 100, the Big Bash, the T20 Challenge over in India. They have genuine world-class players in Marizanne Kapp, Shabnim Ismail, and Laura Wolvaert, and if they fire, South Africa will have a real shout. The absence of Van Niekerk is a massive blow, from a leadership, batting, bowling and morale point of view. She marshals her troops so well and led the Oval Invisibles to the 100 title. I wouldn't have put New Zealand up there a few months ago, but their recent form and the fact they are hosting gives Tame a chance. Beyond the English players, who are you most looking forward to watching? Lydia. Australia's Talia McGrath had a brilliant series against India and backed it up against England. She was made captain of Adelaide Strikers in the WBBL because of Megan Schutt's injury, and I think that really accelerated her game from a leadership point of view, which seemed to translate into her skills with the bat and ball. South Africa's Laura Wolvaert could be one of the best batters for a long time. She has a good temperament and technique and is excellent at reading match situations. Amelia Kerr will be crucial for New Zealand with bat and ball, and she will come into the tournament fresh, having taken time away to focus on her mental health. I also like India's 18-year-old batter Richa Ghosh, who has played a couple of very good innings recently. She could provide some entertaining and potentially match-winning innings. Nasser. Like Lydia, I think Kerr from New Zealand could make a big impact. After her break, she has come back incredibly strong, reeling off 50s for fun and also scoring 100 against India. The change to number 3 in the batting lineup has been great for her. She has become a run machine. Throughout her young career, she has got runs against good sides too. Wolvaert is a massive talent, an elegant stroke maker, who has a dangerous combination with the powerful Lizelle Lee at the top of South Africa's batting order. It would be great to see Harmanpreet fire again. After the innings of her life against Australia in the last World Cup, it has been a bit of a struggle, but I think she is getting to that stage where she has moved on from it now. She could be that X-factor player who could take India to an above-par total. Who will make the semi-finals? Lydia. I am going for Australia, England, New Zealand and South Africa. I would love to see other teams squeeze their way into the mix, but think that will be tough. India are the other team I feel can push for the semi-finals. Individually, they have so many match winners, but sometimes they don't seem to click as a group. I think South Africa and New Zealand's form means they will edge out India. Nasser. I think Australia, England and New Zealand, and I will go with South Africa to finish ahead of India. The match between those two, which is the final group game on March 27th, could be absolutely crucial. Watch every game from the ICC Women's Cricket World Cup live on Sky Sports. Coverage of the tournament opener, hosts New Zealand vs West Indies in Tauranga, gets underway on Friday at 12:30 a.m. on Sky Sports Cricket World Cup. England vs Australia, in Hamilton, is live from 12:30 a.m. on Saturday on the same channel.